What's up, prospectors? Dig Daddy out here in the shed, bringing you another episode of Backyard Prospecting. And today, we're going to be checking out some pay dirt from Vendetta Prospecting. We got some of that Deadmans Wash, and we're going to be going through it. So stick around. Let's find us some gold.
Shed in the back, old dreams in the dark. Dig Daddy's out there with a fire in his heart. Pay dirt on the table, sifting through the night. Glitter in his eyes, everything feels right. Hand in the water, fingers in the mud. Buckets full of promise, gold in the blood. Gear on the bench, tools of a trade. Hustling through the silence, riches to be made. Dig Daddy digging deep into the vein.
All right, welcome back. Like I said, we got some pay dirt from Vendetta. It's the Deadmans Wash. Now, this pay dirt goes for $119. Get about a pound or so, 2 pounds of dirt. In this case, I added a little bit of gold to it. You can add some gold on the page here. You know, anywhere from a half gram, which is what I think I added, a gram, 2 gram, or 4 grams. So, if you want a really rich pay dirt, you got it. If you want to keep it, you know, is what it is. It's about a gram guaranteed, I believe. You got it. Or you can just add a little bit more. Whatever you need, Vendetta's got you covered. So go check that out. I'll leave a link down below, of course, as I always do. But we're going to be checking the dirt out here today. Now, there's a pretty long description here, so I'll kind of squeeze past it real quick. So stick with me. We're going to read through that right now. All right. Deadmans Wash Gold Pay Dirt. Near the foothills of Kingman, Arizona hides a Deadmans Wash. Kingsman's area has a rich mining history dating back to the 1800s, when gold or silver were first discovered in the nearby Surbat Mountains. The area became a hub for prospectors and miners following the establishment of the nearby Fort Mojave in 1859, which provided protection for settlers and mining operations. It goes on to continue about the area there. The dirt itself is rated as an easy to medium pay dirt. There are heavy gravels and iron stone and some small black sands. Iron stained quartz is amongst the river gravels, hiding in the silty sands. Hard packed chunks of cemented gravel hides dark sands, which are concentrated heavies right from the bottom of the calcite beds. This will be a 2-pound bag of pay dirt. Silty sands, the water will get dirty. Man, that sucks. I just put fresh water in there. Black sands, iron stones, mineralized quartz. Vendetta difficulty 3.5 out of 10. So that's not too bad. Guaranteed minimum 1 gram of gold and option to add more like we talked about. There you go. Now, I'm going to rinse this out because I don't want my shit to get all dirty. We're going to classify it out first. I think we're just going to pull that bigger material out so everything can go down through the sluice. But let's get to it. Let's bust this open and see what kind of dirt we're going to be working with. Let's go. All right. We got our dirt. We got a sharp little knife here, razor. Pop this thing open. Pick one of those up at Home Depot. Probably. I think that's where I got it. For like $5. All right. Very well sealed up. This thing ain't going nowhere. Save my sticker. Opening the package a little bit more. We got some more of that postal wrap. Make use of that. Thank you, government, for hooking us up with shipping materials. All right, got another sticker in the package. And then the pay dirt. And yeah, this stuff looks dusty. Really dirty, dirty stuff. All right. So, first things first, we got to get the big rocks out of the way. Looks like The bag is nice and sealed up very, very well. So we can zip that off and open up the zip. All right, welcome back. Well, we got our Paydirt here, all broken down. You notice there's a few more pans than I normally bring out, just a couple. So let's kind of look at what we got here. So first and foremost, the above 1/4 inch, the big stuff, the big rocks we're going to get out of here. Not a whole lot of that. There's some, looks like some quartz or some holy rock of some sort. Once we clean that up, we'll get a better idea of what that is. But overall, it's just gravels, pebbles, and a little bit of dirt stuck on there. So I definitely want to get some water on these just to clean off any gold that might be clinging to them. Let's see here. Next down, we'll go to the plus 10. Not much material here in the plus 10, just barely filling that bottom lip on the little cheapy pan here. So very, very little material to deal with there. We'll hit it with the magnets because I heard the word iron thrown around quite a bit in the description. I am hearing some clickety-clackities here. And I'm expecting that there's a couple pieces of magnetics in here. Not a huge amount up here at the plus 10, but definitely a big old rock of sticky. So there's that. Next, we'll check the plus 20. A little bit smaller stones, but about the same amount of material filling that bottom lip in the pan. As far as magnetics go, I'm hearing a lot more clickety-clacketing. We'll go in a little bit. And there's just a little bit in there, so not a whole heck of a lot there. Next down, we got our plus 40, and this just goes above that bottom lip into that first riffle on the pan here. Just saw a little flake of gold. As far as magnetics go, not a lot of, a little bit of, but we're not done. We're not done. We know where the magnetics wind up. And if you see them at the higher levels, you know where they went. We got our plus 40 now. Or sub 40, excuse me. The majority of our material, kinda, is here in the sub 40. Now, there's a lot here. It goes up at least halfway up that first sluice. First riffle in the pan. A lot of material to go through here in the sub 40. A lot of sand. So we're going to have to go through this nice and slow in the sub 40. And as far as magnetics go, about the same. There's really not a lot of magnetics in this material, So it'll only pose a small challenge. And he even said in the description, this is only about a 3 out of 10. So only a little bit of magnetics. I'm sure there's other heavies down in there. Now, you probably noticed that there's another pan of material that I haven't mentioned yet. And this is a layer that I don't normally go to in the reviews, but there was so much light material and he had mentioned messy water. So I thought, you know what, let's just do it. This is our sub 100. Our sub 40 is usually what we consider our soft sands. We are in the powder. This is sub 100, and there's a lot of it here, man. There is a crap load of material here in the sub 100. Definitely more than the plus 40. Not quite as much as the negative 40 plus 100. The sub 100, there is a lot though. And this is the mess. This is the messy water right here. So we're kind of separating the messy water out from everything else. But that being said, there is a high chance that any small flakes, any fine gold is going to be in here. So we need to be really careful with this stuff when we clean it up. First and foremost, obviously, we're going to want to throw some frog piss in there. I'm going to throw it in all of them just to be safe because I feel like we're going to see a lot of floaty style gold in this material. So I don't want it all floating away before we have a chance to even run it down the sluice. That should be more than sufficient. Our next step here, I'm going to take all this out to to the faucet. I'm going to run some water through it, clean it up a little bit, get a little bit of that fine dust out of this so we don't destroy my water in the sluice here. And then we'll be back and we'll see what we wound up finding here. So don't go anywhere. I will be right back. All right, here is the mess that we're going to be dealing with. All right, we're back. We got this dirt all cleaned up. You can probably already see the difference in what we have. The 10, this is what we got left there. The 20, these ones weren't affected quite as much as the others were. The plus 40, this is what the actual material is in there. Our sub 40, still a lot of material here to work with. This is still the majority, the sub 40 plus 100. Our plus quarter cleaned up really well. There wasn't really much dust below it, but I'll pour that down the way just in case there's some gold in there. You never know. The biggest affected, and as expected, was the 100, the sub 100. This is what's left. This is the actual material that was down below 100, the substantial material. Now remember, this thing was almost all the way full across the bottom. So that right there should tell you how much dust was in this material before we cleaned it out, before when it came out of the bag. That's how much dust was in here. So I highly recommend, if you don't want a milkshake in your water, especially if you recirculate, you're going to want to wash this stuff out first, because it is messy. It is super, super, super messy. Now, you don't have to classify it down all the way like I did, but I feel like that's going to make a huge difference in how easy it is for you. So, do what works best for you by all means. I'm not telling you how to live, but we'll be right back and we'll get to sluicing. So let's go.
Dust whispers low through the Surbite Trail.
All right, we got that dirt all cleaned up. We can fire down the sluice, shut her down. Dry out here. Oh, that's not how we do this. Come on, let's go see what we found. There we go. Zoom, zoom. Look at all of that shiny. Get a little bit more light on it. Man, that is looking great in there. Oh, yeah. All right. So, our next step, get that cleaned up. There's some little pieces down there as well. All right. I'm stoked. We got some gold. Let's go clean it up. Come on.
Through the Surbite Trail. Ghosts in the stones where the sunlight pales. Shadows deep where the miners tread. Deadmans Wash where the river bled. Pickaxe echoes in the canyon's breath. Dreams of gold, but they dance with death.
All right. We got it. How about that? How about that? Big, beautiful pile of gold right there. Woo! Nice chunky chunks and little flakes, mid flakes. Not a lot of fines. There are a couple little specks, but most everything was up above in the larger amount or the bigger amount classifications. There you go. Man, nice little pile of gold right there. We're going to get it snuffered up, dried up. I'm going to clean it up a little bit better. And I need to snuffer some of this out of the way because a lot of it wants to float off. So I'm going to deal with that. Clean back through here. Whatever wound up making its way in there, I'm going to pick that up too. And then we'll be right back with the to weigh it out. All right, let's go. All right, we got this gold all dried up and it is ready to weigh out. So let's fire up the scale. It's all zeros, tared and ready to go. This is Vendetta's Deadmans Wash with a 0.5 gram added. So we're looking for at least 1.5. Let's see what we got. We are right there at 1.063. I think he might not have added the extra 5. And unless I missed a nugget, which doesn't seem very likely. All right, well, that's a bummer. I'll have to reach out to Mike and see what's up, see if he can take care of that and whatnot. I'm not too worried about it. He's a good guy and he's honest, so I have no concerns there. Just a little bit bummed because I wanted to see more gold. As always, you always want to see more gold, but there you are, 1.064 grams of gold. And all right, we'll be right back with my final words, and I think we'll hold off on an actual ROI. All right, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Took a couple pictures of that gold, and yeah. So let's talk about it real quick. I know it's not what I was hoping for, but we worked with what we got here. So what we got here is this: the dirt, fine dirt. Very, very dirty, just like the description warns against. Rinse this stuff off if you get some. It's dirty as hell. It is absolute. There was so much dust in that final classification of the sub 100. There was just so much. It was crazy. But you clean that out of there, and it's not too terrible to go through. The majority of this pay dirt is going to be in the smaller classifications. That sub 40 is where it's at. But the majority of the gold is there and above. Not a lot of fine gold. There was fine gold in there. In the end, I found that there was more than I had expected there was. It was hiding under the bigger pieces that I had snuffered up. Spread out, it was definitely there. So you got to go through all of it, obviously, but be careful when you clean it out that you're not washing away any of your gold. Use some frog piss, some jet dry surfactant to lower that tension on the water so that your gold doesn't float away. But otherwise, great dirt. Had a lot of fun. There was a good amount of dirt to go through. And it was all in the space where I like to see the majority of the dirt in the lower end, not so much in the bigger rocks. The gold, like I said, there was big chunky pieces, little pickers, medium-sized pieces, little flakes, and then some really, really fine stuff. So the gold was all over the spectrum, and it was beautiful. Really, really nice stuff. Some of it floaty gold, so you're going to need to be careful, be wary of that. Other than that, I'll go ahead and give my ROI right now. I paid once. Here, put the thing up. I paid $175 for the bag. Got a gram, 1.063. That's going to be worth $114.38, which for today is going to be an ROI of 65%, which isn't terrible for pay dirt. It's a little, definitely on the lower end of what I'd like, but even still, it's pretty good. That being said, there was gold missing, so I'm going to have to reach out to Mike and get my gold. Maybe have him add it to a different bag of dirt, and I'll check out something else too. But either way, I had a good time going through the dirt. Great gold in the dirt. The error, you know, I'm sure he's going to take care of me. I'm not worried about that. I think hit the brakes. So, little update for you guys. Reached out to Mike, let him know the situation. The very same day, he had a package already ready to go. I got a shipping notification at like 2 a.m., like 5 in the morning. He was on top of it. So I gotta say, and like I was saying in the previous video, I knew he was gonna get it taken care of because it's an awesome seller. And again, as always, he knocks it out of the park. Customer service, out of the park. So I got a new bag to go through, and we're gonna go through that here today real quick. I wasn't sure if he was just gonna send me some gold or send me what he was gonna do. We didn't really talk about it. He just took care of things. So this will be a little bit of a surprise. I mean, obviously, it's a bag of Paydirt. Let's check it out. All right, yep, double bagged as he does. Thank you, USPS, for your packing supplies. Another sticker. And another bag of Paydirt. And it feels like there's a big old chunk of something in there. So we're going to open this up. It's just as dusty as it was last time. So we're going to clean it off. And then we're just going to run it down and see what we got. So let's get to it. Got some more of that Deadmans Wash. And action. All right, we're back. We got this dirt all wetted up and ready to go. We're gonna fire up the sluice, buzz through this real quick, and get us some gold.
Dust clouds rise and sharpen the heat. Shovels bite down where the earth does meet. Sweat rolls heavy, cuts like a knife. This is the grind, this is the life. Gold in the dirt, gold in the dream. Nothing's ever easy, nothing's what it seems. Deadmans Wash, calling your name. Paydirt's waiting, you stake your claim. Dusty hands, digging for the thrill. Vendetta's got your back, they always will. Echoes of boots on a cracked, dry floor. Prospecting lives, craving something more. Challenging the soul, you feel it bite. Each been a promise under the sunlight. Dust in your throat, fire in your veins. Sweat-streaked faces, chasing gold remain. Deadmans Wash, calling your name. Paydirt's waiting, you stake your claim. Dusty hands, digging for the thrill. Vendetta's got your back, they always will.
All right, we're back. Dirt's all been cleaned up, ran down the sluice. Now it's time to see what's what. Oh yeah, there's gold. Goldy gold. Here, let's zoom in on that for you guys. Oh, look at that, so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. Come here, girl. Shiny shine. All right, let's get this gold all cleaned up. And we'll be right back to do the thing. All right, let's go. All right, here we go. There it is. Look at all them shiny shines, chunky chunks. Beautiful, just beautiful. All right, let's get this all snuffered up. Maybe I'll take a picture because it does look so nice. But we're gonna get it all snuffered up, dried out, and we'll see how much it will weighs out. All right, we'll be right back. All right, we are back. Got this gold all dried up and ready to be weighed out. Scales all tared and zeroed out. Vendetta Prospecting, Deadmans Wash, 1.5 gram Paydirt, 1.5 grams of gold guaranteed in this Paydirt. And there it is. 1.737 grams of gold. 1.737. Man, beautiful, beautiful gold. Oh, man. As always, out of the park. And a great bag of dirt. All right, let's get this all cleaned up, and I'll be right back with my final words and ROI. All right.
Dust in your throat, fire in your veins.
All right, welcome back. Man, that was awesome. For so many more reasons than just a bag of dirt. But let's stick to the basics here. Bag was great, good amount of dirt in there, not a bunch of garbage up in the big area where there's no nuggets there anyways. Not a lot of wasted space on material that's going to get tossed out first thing, so that was great. Good spread of material, not a lot of magnetics. Dirty as hell, but you were warned. So, on the website, I think he rated it like a 3.5 out of 10. I might give it a little bit higher rating on the difficulty scale, maybe like 4.55. Just because it's really dirty and there's a lot of that to deal with. If you don't deal with it up front, it's going to give you a little bit of a hassle with some milkshake water to work with in the end. So, you know, it's all, I mean, any dirt is easy if you approach it the right way. So, easy enough, but once you get it all nice and cleaned up, it is pretty easy to go through. So, so there you go. If you pan it out, you're going to have a great time. A lot of gold to be found in here of all different sizes, in addition to some really nice pickers. So keep your eye open for those. They're in this dirt. You're going to find, you're likely to find some pickers. I found a couple really nice looking ones. But overall, the dirt was great. Good amount of it. Nice to go through. Good packaging, etc., etc. Let's talk about some gold. Now, like I mentioned, got a couple pickers in there, a lot of flakes throughout, and of course some fine gold to chase there at the end. Make sure you back pan and back pan again. Chase it around a few times because you're going to keep finding little specks of gold that keep getting swept away in those heavy sands. They're light enough that the heavier, bigger sands are going to knock them back down. So you're going to have to chase that a little bit. Which for me, that's fun. So, you know, spend the time, chase the gold, snuffer it up as you go, and you'll have just a little bit more in your snuffer when you're done. But overall, great gold. Let's go to the final numbers. Now, I'm only going to tally the second bag based on the original purchase price. The first bag was a 65% ROI because there was an error with how much gold got put into it. So the second bag is going to be our actual representation of the product. And let's just go down. The numbers speak for themselves. Let me put it up. I paid $175 for the bag. That was shipped flat out $175. What I wound up finding was 1.737 grams of gold. Now, That has a today value of $187.40, which is going to give this bag here a ROI of 107%. Damn. Not bad at all. 107% ROI. And Vendetta's known for the 100% ROI. A lot of his bags are going to have that. And this did not disappoint. As always, I highly recommend go check out his page. Go buy some dirt from him. You're not going to be disappointed. He is one of the good ones. When he's got dirt on hand, it's definitely worth picking up. Now, because there was a mistake with the original, he might have thrown a little bit extra on top of the 1.5 gram guarantee. But even then, as always, what I always say is, however much they're guaranteeing you, expect that's what you're going to get. And if that's not what you're going to be happy with, don't buy that bag of dirt. He guaranteed 1.5 grams. I received 1.7 grams. And a little hair over. But if I got the 1.5 all the same, thumbs up, because that was what the promise was. And this one was just a little bit over. And so that's really awesome. Overall, I had a great time going through the dirt. Regardless of the issues we had, I knew Vendetta was going to take care of me, so I didn't sweat it. I just reached out to him and he took care of it. And that says a lot. Shit happens, and as long as your seller is going to take care of business, come back around and make sure you, the customer, are happy, what more can you ask for? A little patience goes a long way. Things happen. But it all worked out in the end. And as always, I'm going to leave a link down below so you can go pick up a bag for yourself. Go do that. Go grab a bag. If he's out of this one, go grab something else there. He's usually got something available. So take advantage of that. Grab yourself a bag of some fun. Have some fun over a weekend, over a night, however you want to break it down. And I think you're going to be pretty damn happy. I know I am. So, there you go. Vendetta Prospecting. Mike, you knocked it out of the park. As always, good job. Thank you so much for being an awesome and honest vendor of Paydirt, and for, being a part of the community itself. You rock, man. And shit, that's all I got for you guys this week. As always, if you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. If you didn't, well, whatever. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe leave a comment and tell me what I can do better. Thumbs downs don't really help. It just says, meh, meh. Doesn't help. But if you leave a comment and tell me what you didn't like, maybe we can work on that. But overall, whatever. Either which way, I hope you guys have a great week, and tune in next time for more BSing or backyard prospecting, and Monday nights for some BSing in the shed. And yeah, if you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe. If whatever, do all the things. You hear these at the end of every video on every YouTuber's page. Do I really need to repeat them? Do what you got to do. And until next time, this is Dig Daddy signing out from the shed. If I don't see you out at the rivers, I will catch you in the backyard. Peace. Goldie, goldie, gold, 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 gold. Oh, shoot, you're still here? Well, hell. Click on that link right there for some more Paydirt reviews. And click on that link there for like gear reviews and stuff. And if you're not a subscriber, click that one right there. All right. Peace. Goldie, gold, gold, gold.